This one thought pattern is destroying senior minds, and nobody talks about it. Overthinking. It doesn't just steal your peace. After 60, it can quietly start stealing your memory, your clarity, even your confidence. And worst of all, it usually sounds harmless, like you're just thinking things through. But here's what no one tells you. When you constantly ask yourself things like, did I do enough? What if I become a burden? What if something happens and I can't handle it? Your brain can't tell the difference between a thought and a threat. Doctors have studied this. Neuroscientists have mapped it, and the results are chilling. Today, I'll share the story of Walter, a man who spiraled so deep into overthinking he almost lost everything, until one day he learned a powerful truth that changed his mind, literally, and it just might change yours too. Walter was 72 when it started, a retired mechanic, widowed 6 years earlier, lived in a quiet cul-de-sac just outside Dayton, Ohio. He was the kind of man who always had a plan. He could fix a broken carburetor in his sleep. But lately, he couldn't even fix his thoughts. It began with little things, misplacing the remote, forgetting why he walked into the kitchen. And then the thoughts came. Is this how it starts? Is this memory loss? Did I waste too much time when I was younger? Maybe I wasn't a good enough father. What if I'm just a burden now? The house was quiet, but Walter's mind was loud. He didn't tell anyone. He thought maybe it would pass. But the more he stayed silent, the louder the doubts became. He started canceling outings, stopped reading the paper, barely touched his coffee in the mornings, because every sip reminded him of what he was losing, his clarity, his calm, and slowly, his identity. Walter wasn't battling memory loss. He was battling rumination, that endless cycle of self-doubt and replaying regrets. And like so many seniors, he had no idea it was hurting him from the inside out. Walter didn't know it at the time, but what he was experiencing wasn't just emotional. It was biological. According to Dr. Charles Nemiroff, professor of psychiatry at Emory University, chronic rumination, the kind where your mind loops around the same negative thought, triggers prolonged cortisol release, which over time damages the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. In simple terms, overthinking literally reshapes the brain. And in seniors, the damage shows up faster. You start to feel foggy. You forget names, misplace items, lose track of what day it is, and because you're already worried, the spiral just gets worse. Your brain was never built to relive guilt, regret, and fear 24 hours a day. But when you replay what-ifs and should-haves again and again, your body responds like there's a crisis happening, even when you're just sitting in a chair. Cortisol, the stress hormone, stays elevated, and elevated cortisol in older adults has been linked to poor sleep, immune system suppression, slower healing, and cognitive decline. Walter wasn't weak. He wasn't broken. He was stuck in a loop, and that loop was slowly breaking him. But then something shifted, not overnight, but one moment, one choice became the turning point. And that's where the healing began. What Walter was going through, it's more common than most seniors realize. It starts with something small, like forgetting a word mid-sentence. You pause, try to remember. Then the thought creeps in, why can't I remember simple things anymore? Is this the beginning of something worse? Then another thought follows. I used to be sharper than this. Maybe I'm becoming a burden to my kids. And before you know it, you spent the entire day inside your head, reliving things you can't change and worrying about things that haven't happened. For some, it's regret. Why didn't I retire earlier? I should have called my brother more. Did I spend enough time with my family? For others, it's fear. What if my health fails suddenly? What if I run out of money? What if I lose control of everything? These thoughts aren't dramatic. They're quiet, but they steal your energy, your joy, your ability to be present. Walter said it best one afternoon sitting on his porch. I realized I wasn't really living. I was just reliving the past and pre-living the worst parts of the future. And that realization, that was the beginning of his recovery. Because the first step to healing your mind is noticing that your thoughts are not facts. They're just thoughts. And you have the power to change what you give your attention to. Walter didn't get better because someone gave him a magic answer. He got better because he stopped fighting his thoughts and started questioning them. One morning, after another sleepless night, he opened a dusty old book his late wife used to read, a collection of letters by Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. The first page he opened to said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That one sentence felt like it was written for him. It wasn't about denying fear. It was about refusing to live inside it. He began a small habit. Every time his mind wandered into, "What if I'm losing myself?" he whispered aloud, "This thought is not truth. It's just a cloud passing through." He started journaling. Nothing fancy, just 2 questions each night. What did I feel today? What do I want to let go of before I sleep? Some nights, the pages stayed empty. Other nights, he cried while writing. But every night, he showed up. Over time, something remarkable happened. He started feeling space again, in his breath, in his chest, in his mind. Because he wasn't trying to control life anymore. He was learning to control how he responded to it. And that changed everything. Walter wasn't just journaling and quoting philosophers. He was also following real science-backed techniques, the kind that therapists and geriatric specialists now recommend for overthinking in older adults. Dr. Elizabeth Lerner, a senior cognitive therapist at Mount Sinai, explains, "Thought spirals in seniors often mimic cognitive decline, but they're emotional patterns, not neurological damage. And they can be gently broken with repetition, compassion, and structure." Here are the 3 techniques Walter used, and that you can use too. First, name the thought out loud. When you catch yourself thinking, "What if I'm becoming a burden?" say it aloud. Then add, "That's just a thought, not a fact." Naming it breaks the loop. It gives your brain space to reframe the fear before it turns into anxiety. Second, gentle daily journaling. Walter didn't write novels, just a few lines. Start with, "Today I want to release." Over time, this trains the mind to notice thought patterns and let go of what doesn't belong. Third, 5-finger breathing. A simple technique. Trace your finger up and down the other hand's fingers while breathing in and out. Inhale as you trace up. Exhale as you trace down. It slows the nervous system. It calms your body. And it reminds your mind that you are safe right now. Walter still lives in that same house, same porch, same cup of coffee every morning. But something inside him is entirely different now. He doesn't rush anymore. He doesn't fight every thought. He doesn't spend his days reliving old regrets or fearing what's next. Now, when a thought like, "I should have done more," shows up, he greets it like an old visitor, then lets it go. He writes in his journal every night. He walks slowly, breathes deeply, and smiles at strangers on his street, not because life is perfect, but because he stopped believing that every thought deserved a reaction. One morning, he told a neighbor, "I still forget where I put my keys sometimes, but I don't forget who I am anymore." That's the power of awareness. That's the gift of mental peace. And here's the truth. You can still have that peace. You're not too old to change. You're not too far gone. And your mind, even with all it's seen, can still become your calmest place, because healing doesn't come from controlling your thoughts. It comes from understanding that you are not your thoughts. You are the quiet behind them. If Walter's story felt familiar, if any part of his journey reminded you of your own quiet battles, then I hope you know you're not alone. Overthinking is not weakness. It's not failure. It's just the brain trying to protect you long after the danger has passed. But you don't have to stay trapped in that loop. You've lived through decades of storms. You've faced losses, changes, regrets, and questions that most people wouldn't understand. And after all that, you still have the power to change your mind. Literally. So, if today's story gave you a little bit of peace, or even just a pause between the noise in your head, I'd be honored if you subscribe to this channel, because around here, we talk about the things nobody else talks about. The quiet parts of growing older, the emotional weight, the healing, the hope. This isn't just information, it's companionship, and it's built for people like you. Take care of your mind. It's still listening, and it's still healing, one thought at a time.